Hi everyone! I have received an influx of views and subscribers lately thanks to literally one of my favorite YouTubers sharing my channel. I've been subscribed to Colin Looks Back for about 5 years, so this was a big surprise for me. The first video I watched was a retrospective Colin did on Timmy the Tooth, which was a show I used to rent on VHS from the library. I am always looking for YouTubers who would talk about puppets, animatronics, mascot costumes, old school computer games, and musicals, and Colin Looks Back encompasses all of that. So I just wanted to start the video out by acknowledging that, and this has also really motivated me to put more effort into my videos, and I will be slowly redoing my very first video, as not only was I trying to put on some sort of voice, but a lot of the info isn't entirely correct. I'm really on a mission to give as much correct information as possible when it comes to obscure puppet media, and especially to talk in my normal voice instead of whatever I was attempting in my first few videos. So anyways, here we go! Remember Ready, Set, Learn? It was an American preschool programming block that began its life on both TLC and Discovery Kids on December 26, 1992. The block came to its end on October 10, 2010, when Warner Brothers, who owned both channels, rebranded its children-friendly content into something known as the Hub.
You're watching Discovery Kids, but starting October 10th, you'll be watching the Hub. Because Discovery Kids is becoming the Hub.
The Hub soon became Discovery Family in 2014, but many of the shows from Ready, Set, Learn did not make the transition. In the United States, there is also a Spanish television network called Telemundo. It features a morning television block for children called Mi Telemundo. It features both live-action and animated children's shows dubbed into the Spanish language. Meanwhile, in the UK, there was a channel called GMTV, of which there was a programming block for kids that began on January 3, 1983, and became its own channel in 2006. GMTV later became ITV, Breakfast Broadcasting Limited. Sadly, the programming block on ITV, as well as the channel itself, CITV, came to its end in 2023. Luckily, on ITV's second channel, ITV2, the shows featured on CITV were moved to a new programming block on that channel that runs from 5 to 9 a.m. each morning. But what do these programming blocks have in common? Well, each are filled with quality children's programming. They played not only shows from their own countries, but acquired programming from other countries as well. Today, I am going to talk about one of the shows that was featured on Ready, Set, Learn, Discovery Kids, Telemundo, GMTV, and later CITV. A show perfectly tailored to preschool audiences featuring puppets that are very sweet and not scary as some I have featured on this channel. A show that lived in the depths of my memory, and seeing a clip brought it to the forefront again. The show is called Nini's Treehouse.
Every day is a Oooberry day. Come on, kids, it's time to play. 'Cause it's a Oooberry day. Hey, let's go to Nini's Treehouse. Yeah! 'Cause it's a Oooberry day.
Nini's Treehouse was a preschool television show that was produced by Itsy Bitsy Entertainment and GMTV, which, as previously stated, is now known as ITV Breakfast Broadcasting Limited. The show was created by Ken Weisselman, who you may know for writing and producing the huge box office bomb The Oogie Loves and the Big Balloon Adventure. But he has also been heavily involved in many other projects. He created not only Nini's Treehouse, but was a producing partner for Teletubbies, head of marketing for Thomas the Tank Engine, and executive producer of my favorite animated children's show, Charlie and Mimo. On a side note, The Oogie Loves doesn't deserve the hate it receives, and I rather enjoyed it. The show takes place in a magical place called Oooberryland, where all of the characters live, either in real life or within the imaginations of others. The titular character, Nini, is a large full-bodied dog puppet with both mouth and eyelid movement. He lives in a treehouse in the Oooberry tree, alongside two cute fluffy green squirrels, or treezels, named B and D. Within the treehouse, Nini uses his imagination to create a new world that the viewer can see. Through his mind, he creates a tiny creature to live in a dollhouse in his treehouse. The creature is called an Oobagogo, and is a small, green, polka-dot humanoid claymation figure with blue hair. There is also a segment where Nini plays with a ribbon and a string, and they come to life through animation, making different shapes with their unlimited potential. These segments, along with another animated segment called Horace the Hippo, were animated by Ealing Animation. The other animated segments, which are drawings coming to life that were created by kids known as the Drawing Children. Nini looks at the pictures and creates a story to tell the treasels, and the drawings animate. These segments were animated by Flix Film, known for shows such as Mr. Men and Banana Man. The other live-action segments on the show regard Norman and the Fingerlings. Norman is a sock puppet that Nini draws every episode and creates the world in his imagination. Alongside Norman, there are tiny little red ant-like puppets known as the Fingerlings, who are named Fip, Fap, and Feppy. In the only 2 episodes I have been able to watch, these characters within Nini's imagination form a band and, in very meta fashion, put on a puppet show.
Oh, thank you, cow! Now we shall share the bag of chocolates!
Hurrah! Hurrah for the king.
That was better, wasn't it, Norman?
Well, I think so. I mean, it was really good to start with, but now it's a little clearer, I think. You know, sometimes it's just good for everyone to work together. Sometimes it just makes it a little better.
The episodes begin with Nini drawing a picture of Norman and giving him either a feeling or a task to do that day. Then we reveal the imaginary world of the Fingerlings and Norman doing said thing. Meanwhile, back in the real world, Nini and the Treasels run into some sort of issue, like Nini needing peace and quiet and the Treasels being the opposite of that, or a random tapping noise that is driving everyone nuts and they can't find the cause. We seamlessly dive into the animated segments, with the Oooberryland living inside the tiny dollhouse, and the stringy things Nini plays with becoming animated. The show wraps itself up with all the problems resolved and the characters laughing and having a good time as the outro music plays. As the credits roll, all of the show's characters, both live action and animated, say goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye, Treasels. Goodbye. See you later. See you next time.
The show was produced in collaboration between the US and UK. The voice of the main character, Nini, has a general American accent, whilst all the other characters have an English accent. Louis Ray is within the costume of Nini, with Jennifer Thompson-Taylor providing the voice. Gilly Robick plays Treasel B, and Debbie Cumming plays Treasel D. Mark Todd plays Norma, and the 3 Fingerlings are portrayed by Susanna Howard, Kevy Griffiths, and Steve Tiplady. Meg Nicole provides the voice for the Oooberryland. The puppet builders were John Guy White and Jonathan Saville. In my opinion, these 2 puppet builders did an incredible job with these characters. Now, as I mentioned before, I've watched 2 episodes of this show, and that's because that's all I can find. One episode is of good quality, one is a rough VHS rip, and there is also a small portion of a Hindi dubbed episode that appears to be being filmed off of a television. Of course, I am not knowledgeable in the Hindi language, and therefore could not understand what the characters were saying. There is also a lost media wiki about the show, but it doesn't contain very much information about the topic. There are a few discussion threads mentioning watching the show, and that it often aired extremely early in the morning or late at night. In the grand scheme of things, a very small amount of people remember the show, and I'm sure the fact that it aired at a weird time contributed to that. The first episode of Nini's Treehouse was aired on GMTV, Discovery Kids, and TLC on September 25, 2000. I am unsure when it aired on Telemundo, or elsewhere in the world. If you watched it as a kid on another channel, please let me know. The last episode aired on February 21, 2003. The show was then reran until at least 2009. It likely disappeared from TLC and Discovery Kids when they became the hub, but I don't know when it finished airing on CITV, GMTV, or Telemundo. There are 4 seasons and 55 episodes of Nini's Treehouse, as well as 5 direct-to-video episodes. A brief clip of one of these, the Oooberry Alphabet Zoo, is available on YouTube.
Rain, rain, go away!
Yes.
Oh, I really wanted to go to the zoo.
But it doesn't really cover much of the show, just the beginning commercials and opening titles, as well as the end credits. The show flows well, with transitions making perfect sense going into other mediums of animation. I really enjoyed the puppets, claymation, animation, and the colorfulness of the series. The teaching is gentle, the characters communicate with each other very well, and the show moves at a pace that could keep even the youngest of viewers entertained. This show would still perfectly work on preschool television to this day, and it's terribly sad that this has become a piece of obscure puppet media. Now, to end this video, I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this absolutely random puppet show from over 20 years ago. Keep in mind I research as best as I can, but of course, if I missed anything or have gotten anything wrong, please let me know in the comments. And also let me know if you have any suggestions for future videos. I love learning about new things. Also, remember to like and subscribe if you're feeling it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.
Bye.